Introducing an intense shoot-'em-up game with a roguelike twist to it, Hyper Sentinel Fusion. Plunder the depths and explore procedurally generated space destroyers as you aim to take down your enemies in your very own Sentinel fighter. Dogfight your foes and destroy their defenses, all while enjoying intense and fast-paced shoot-'em-up action using the title's fast and fluid controls to kick the butt of those monstrous bosses and become even more of a legend as you gain further ship upgrades. So if you're ready for action and not wanting to have to deal with annoying season passes or microtransactions, and want to play a game that stays true to its arcade roots that delivers a fresh but familiar experience, alongside deep rewarding replayability, then Hyper Sentinel Fusion is the game you've been looking for. So stop your procrastinating and get to it by wishlisting the game on Steam or support the official Kickstarter starting in July to have the opportunity to get an amazing exclusive 3.5 mega floppy micro USB drive physical edition for PC. Links to both are down below. Mario Kart World is the latest installment into this juggernaut of a series, and it is developed and published by Nintendo. With fans starving for an actual new Mario Kart game, Nintendo pulled a "shut up already, you're dang" annoyance move on us, and are now bringing us a game that they promise not only is an evolution of the series, but its biggest entry yet. But does the game live up to that promise or fall short? Only one way to find out, so let's race! Gameplay: Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto 5, The Last of Us, Resident Evil 4, and Mario Kart 8. Seems like a random list of games at first, right? Well, they all have more in common than you think. All of these games have had multiple re-releases over the span of multiple generations, such as Skyrim moving across to Xbox 360, PS4, and PS5, Last of Us on PS3, PS4, and PS5, Grand Theft Auto going in the same route as Skyrim, Resident Evil 4 being on any device possible, including Zeebo. What? Zeebo? Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people have never heard of that one, but rest assured it was on there. While all of those games have become a meme in recent years due to the re-release absurdity, Nintendo has faced its share of controversy as well, with Mario Kart 8 seeing a release on their console on the Wii U and then once again ported to their successor with the Nintendo Switch, with a deluxe version of the game. I mean, clearly it worked since Mario Kart 8 on Nintendo Switch pulled in over 60 million sales to date, but it was also pretty disappointing, at least for someone like me, because with all of those great games on Switch and how major franchises like Zelda, Mario, Pokemon, Kirby, and the likes all got evolutions of their franchises that pushed each series forward, and Mario Kart was nowhere to be seen on this front. Now we arrive in 2025 with the launch of Switch 2, and with more than a decade later, we finally got our wish for a brand new Mario Kart with Mario Kart World. It's about time! Promising to build on the larger-than-life Mario Kart 8 builds for the franchise, Mario Kart World attempts to broaden the appeal of the series by not only expanding its world to a free roam aspect, but also raising racing player counts to 24 racers in order to make things even more chaotic and fun at the same time. Whether you're a bona fide veteran of the series that has played since the Super Nintendo days, or if this is your first time ever picking up the franchise, it doesn't matter. It attempts to be the jack of all trades, so to speak. Something many games attempt to do, but often fail at. I'm looking at you, Mind's Eye. So what exactly does Mario Kart World do to set itself apart other than just be more Mario Kart? Well, multiple things actually, such as a brand new way to move about your surroundings, 24-player racing, and free roam mode for you and your friends. Mario Kart World expands on its movement-based mechanics with the way you race around each new track, much like the Gravity Edition in Mario Kart 8. However, here in this entry, you're offered multiple ways to get the jump on your opponent to gain speed or an advantage to a shortcut that wouldn't be possible without the new mechanic of wall riding. By jumping or driving onto a railing, you're able to bypass the normal sections of a racetrack and grind like you're Tony Hawk, and then jump and do a trick to gain even more speed. But even more advanced than that is the use of wall riding by holding down your drift button while you're in a straight line towards a wall you wish to jump onto and then letting go. By doing this, it allows you to reach new pathways and even more extensive shortcuts that you had no clue were even there. And if you're really good at it, you can keep jumping and hopping and grinding back and forth from wall to wall or wall to rail to wall to rail and perform stage skips to give you a few seconds advantage of your opponent in a close and intense race. Some of the videos I've seen of people doing these wall tricks boggles my mind because I'm absolutely horrid at doing it and most of the time manage to get on a railing or sometimes miss a wall completely and perform a very, very lackluster wall run that gives me no advantages whatsoever. But hey, at least this is one driving-related game that I don't crash in, so I'll take my W's where I can get them. Purists might be a bit miffed, though, by the changes to the standard courses now that the traditional format for each course moves away from the standard 3-lap format, and now some races can even last up to 8 different laps, depending on how big the course itself is. But while overall it's a cool change up to the format, because allowing for over 4 laps for some of the bigger courses can make players discover and think of new ways to strategize their way to victory by finding new areas, new rails to grind, faster wall riding, etc., etc. It also leads to somewhat of a headache in some cases due to the bigger courses to accommodate 24 players and an interconnected world map that relates to the world itself and free roaming, which we will get into very shortly because boy did I have some adventures and mishaps in this world. Not as bad as my driving in Halo Infinite, but it's up there. During each race, instead of going to a cutscene or transitioning to the next screen to load the next course, here in Mario Kart World, all tracks in the game are interconnected seamlessly, and you, in the literal sense, drive from one course to another in real time. Hence why some courses have more than 4 laps, since there's an actual journey involved between course changes. However, there is downsides with this as well, because while it's awesome to have bigger courses to race on and new tricks and moves to discover, sometimes there's a bit of downtime on the bigger levels you race on, and even with 24 players, there are some courses where you're just driving in a straight line, no ramps to jump and do tricks off of, no walls to grind, no turns to drift on, just a huge open area during the Grand Prix races that has you going in a straight line until you reach a specific destination, and that can be a bit of a bummer at times. Man, if I wanted to be going in a straight line, I might as well just go play Final Fantasy XIII again at this rate. Come on, Nintendo! The fate of my boredom used to be in my hands! Uh-oh, my hands. Nope, we're not singing it again. Nope, no way, not doing it. I wake in the morning, putting on my makeup. What in the living chocobo does that have to do with Final Fantasy? But enough of that. Back to what I was talking about. With the straightaway racing, the overall course gameplay is as hectic as ever, with now having to fight against 23 other people. This is both a blessing and a curse because my god, can you get your world absolutely wrecked while you think you're dusting the competition, only to be met with a blue shell that knocks you into 10th or lowest place at the last second. Dang it, blue shells! I hate you! The tracks in this game are absolutely gorgeous and look better than ever before, with races on courses that have dinosaurs, racing across Bowser's airship and into his lair, a Donkey Kong homage level where you drive up the old Donkey Kong arcade game, getting your sweet tooth on by driving through an ice cream truck, sail through a beach resort, travel through Peach's castle, and experience one of the best versions of the Rainbow Road this series has to offer. These courses were all just top-notch and a ton of fun. Unless you keep getting bombarded by every item known to man, leave me alone! As per usual, traditional Grand Prix mode returns with 50cc, 100cc, 150cc, and mirror mode, but 200cc is surprisingly absent, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it will be part of a future free update or something, but for now it's a bit of a head scratcher as to where it is. But the mode that's even more confusing is mirror mode, because you have to be a rocket scientist or something to figure out how to unlock it. Yes, it's even more confusing than standing against a wall while holding a crystal and kneeling while waiting for a tornado to come by and swoop you up. Unlocking this mode can be such a headache and makes me feel as brain dead as my poor boy in Adventure of Link. I am error. Me too, bro. Me too. Nintendo even had to come out themselves and give an official statement on how to unlock it, so that's how you know it's mad confusing. Yikes. Besides the Grand Prix, you still have your Versus mode, online mode, and of course Battle mode, all of which remain as fun as ever due to the smooth online play this go around. I don't recommend playing it online if you're easily triggered though, because with 23 people doing their own thing, it gets a bit messy and rage-inducing with all the shells and lightning flying around, so be warned. But for me, the last two modes of this game that truly stand out are Knockout Tour and Free Roam. In Knockout Tour, you race against 24 other racers, and as the race goes on, a large chunk of them is gradually eliminated until only 4 remain. And the last one to pass the finish line is, of course, the winner. Okay, clearly I'm not that good at the mode and constantly get my butt handed to me due to how chaotic and hectic it is, almost making me get Vietnam flashbacks even though I wasn't even born at the time for Vietnam. Yes, it's that traumatizing, so excuse me, princess, if I'm not as good as you, but rest assured, I will at least take you out with a shell at one point. Finally, we arrive at my favorite mode, Free Roam. In Free Roam, you can do just that, travel across this open, interconnected world by yourself or with friends. This mode, for me personally, floored me due to the level of detail and how alive the world feels. Characters that have nothing to do with the racing are going about their day, hanging out near a restaurant or near their car, working at the gas station or other food joints where you can get food to unlock new attire, paddling down a river and making you wonder where they're headed, watching toads sit peacefully at a campfire at night, but get jealous that they didn't invite you, so you ruined their whole night. You should have invited me! All courses you play during the regular Grand Prix are here, and in real time, you can drive from one corner of the world to the other in what I call Mario Kart's Breath of the Wild moment. Because if you see it, you can go there with no loading screens or slowdowns. Just drive. Besides exploring and being in awe of the world, there are things to do in it, of course, besides gawk at it, which comes in the form of P-switches and Peach medallions. Collect Peach medallions to grant you Kart stickers, but with over 300 plus P-switches to find, all of which add their own mini-games like collect blue coins, race and fly through rings, try to jump on a train to get ahead of it to get to the goal, finding new areas of Bowser's Lair to reach a goal, and hundreds more, making it extremely addicting, especially for someone like me who loves a collect-a-thon type of gameplay and a completionist for items like this. Luckily with no reward of golden poop this time. Thanks, Nintendo! It also allows you to goof around the world and just find new stuff to collect, like all characters' new attire for clothes, stickers, and even pull off lucky as heck tricks like I did a few times during P-switch missions that make me feel both highly skilled but extremely lucky at the same time, barely making it to the goal by sheer luck. Overall, at the end of the day, Mario Kart World ended up being a fantastic time and a game I am not quite done with just yet. It's a no-brainer that even with as much as I like it, there are still some issues with it too. Some of the issues have to do with my favorite mode of Free Roam having a lack of split-screen multiplayer and also no proper tracker for P-switches collected, so you never know which ones you've already gotten due to the fact that they don't show up on your map, which is an issue. Another gripe I can see happening besides the $80 price point is the item balance being off, especially online. Having players get hit by 4 to 5 shells before they can even get up can be quite a bit annoying. However, with collectibles like carts being given via coins, characters unlocked in Grand Prix, new costumes thanks to diners, free roaming a huge, vibrant world solo or with friends, new movement mechanics allowing for some sweet wall and rail riding tricks, creative and gorgeous courses in Grand Prix, lunatic hours and Knockout Tour with how intense and fun it gets, all of the positives for me outweigh the negatives, yes, even the $80 price tag due to the content offered. So with all that having been said, my verdict is clear. Game & Chick says bye now.